Ruslan.
On this video, we are going to talk about hundreds of thousands of dollars being found in Joel Osteen's church when apparently a plumber was fixing a toilet or something and just found exorbitant amounts of money. But before we get into that, guys, my name is Ruslan. We have a free How to Study the Bible course. The link is in the description for that. Get you more consistency, clarity, and context for your Bible, for life change. And we have a free 3-day YouTube challenge. If you're an entrepreneur, a creative, a pastor, a leader, you want to jump into the YouTube space, make sure you sign up for that. Now, Joel Osteen. Joel Osteen is a megachurch pastor. He is what people would call a prosperity pastor. I don't even know if he would use the title pastor for himself. I think he identifies more as like a motivational speaker. I think Joel Osteen sometimes gets a bad rap, but generally speaking, be preaching some sus stuff. I think Joel Osteen legitimately means well, but I think he sometimes overemphasizes things that get him in trouble. And I think this story, amongst other stories, like taking PPP loans, even though his church was doing fine, like not letting people come in and take shelter in his church when there was all kinds of storms and flooding happening, kind of keeps, like, he kind of makes the bed for himself with a lot of these situations. And so I don't want to just dunk on Joel Osteen. We're going to look at some of the news coverage about this.
Andy, wow, crazy. Can you believe it? Oh my gosh, really? Yes, that is what many people are going to be thinking once they watch this story. A plumber just doing his job at Lakewood Church discovered an undisclosed amount of money.
Could you guys imagine, like, where does this fit in the plot line of the documentary about Joel Osteen, like 20 years from now, like when he's retiring or almost retired? Like, where does this fit in the plot line of this, like this entire story? Where do you think this fits? This is a plumber doing his job, discovers hundreds of thousands of dollars. $600,000 went missing from years ago. Where does this fit in? Because I think this is hilarious.
It was the craziest phone call we've ever had.
Meet George Lindsay. He's the morning show co-host for the Morning Bullpen at 100.3 The Bull.
It's the greatest job ever.
This morning, the co-host asked people about valuable things they found and received a call from a plumber who recently did some work at Lakewood Church.
There was a loose toilet in the wall, and we removed the tile. Well, they removed the tile. Went to go remove the toilet, and I moved some insulation away, and about 500 envelopes fell out of the...
Like, guys, this isn't like a little side compartment. This was inside of the toilet. This had to have been somebody in the church that did this. Now, no accusations from me to Joel. There was some type of robbery or something a couple years ago, but this had to have been someone who had time to pull this off.
Wall, and I was like, oh, wow.
Back in 2014, the mega church made headlines after someone stole $600,000.
Obviously, this case remains under investigation.
7 years later, a man fixing a toilet at the church discovered money in the walls.
I went ahead and contacted the maintenance supervisor that was there.
As you should.
And I went ahead and turned it all in.
As you should.
Statement Lakewood Church said recently while repair work was being done at Lakewood Church, an undisclosed amount of cash and checks were found. Lakewood immediately notified the Houston Police Department and is assisting
as they should
them with their investigation. HPD has not confirmed if the money's...
Yo, they're giving these random facts of like, you know, I contacted the supervisor and they contacted the support and then they did, and then we called the police. Like, yeah, like this was like the bare minimal that all you guys should have done. It's like, it's like wanting a participation award. Like, you just did the bare minimal here.
Stolen years ago, and the money found by the plumber are related. But Lindsay says investigators would have never known about the money if it wasn't for the plumber who discovered it. There's still a lot of questions.
If it's that money, why did they never go back and get that money? It's like I said, it's like a movie. I really think I could make a 10-part series on Netflix out of it.
Tiger King next season. Okay, and the memes went crazy about this. Why was all this money hidden in the bathroom of Joel Osteen's church? And there's all kinds of memes going on. Here's the thing. People were like, it's Joel Osteen's personal stash. It's his, you know, listen, now you got to be really stupid if you're going to embezzle money out of a nonprofit church. Okay, not sure if you guys know. And there's controversy about this, okay? Churches have some of the best tax benefits. Technically, they don't pay sales tax. The actual clergy who are on staff can have a big chunk of their income as housing expense, which is tax-free. And so the money that they actually claim on their taxes is substantially less. I know this because I used to work at a church. So like churches and ministries have some of the illest tax benefits around, right? So my thing is like, why would you embezzle and further cheat if you are already in the mix and have access to this money? And we're not talking about small sums of money. $600,000 would get stolen through this. They're saying allegedly this is $300,000 would get found. Now here's the thing. I know pastors, bivocational pastors, amazing pastors, and their entire annual budget isn't $300,000. They have to work other jobs to keep things afloat, right? And so I think this is another one of those like self-imposed type of situations where whether or not Osteen is at fault or not at fault, bro, it's just not a good look. He could have been like completely innocent in this situation, and it was just, somebody robbed the church and somehow had time to pick up the toilet and stuff the money in there and forgot to come back to it for 7. Like, whatever it is, this is just a bad look, and it's a bad look for the kingdom, okay? Joel Osteen wants to be a motivational preacher. Joel Osteen wants to be positive. Joel Osteen wants to do all the things he wants to do. He wants to be the next Oprah. I'm not mad at any of that until you start identifying yourself as clergy, as a church, so on and so forth. And so I want to hear from you guys. Where do you guys think this money came from? Like, and do you think there was something sketchy going on? You think this was some insider work? Do you think that there's some folks that probably need to be held accountable? And furthermore, if you're a member of Osteen's church, I want to hear your guys' experience. Like, how is it going? Is it like, did it just got like a popping youth ministry and the small groups are lit? Like, help me wrap my brain around an institution this big, preaching this soft of a gospel, losing $600,000, applying for PPP loans, and then finding $300,000 buried in the toilet. All of this is just a hot mess, man. And I think this is such a tacky look for the kingdom, and I don't know what to make sense of it, man. Like I've really genuinely just tried to give good old Joel the benefit of the doubt. He's so sweet. He's a handsome guy. He means well. He's nice, but at some point, man, it's like, oh my gosh, wherever there's smoke, there's usually fire. So I'm curious, again, in the narrative, in the series of his life, where does this fall into place? Like, where does this pop into place? And I'm laughing, but I think we laugh to keep from crying because this is sad. Like, there are people who think that Christianity is this. There are non-Christians that think Christianity is primarily made up of people like this. And that's a bummer, man. That's a bummer. So anyway, those are my thoughts on this entire situation, man. Let me know what you guys think about this.
Kingstream Entertainment. Ruslan.
Hey, thank you so much for making it to the end of this video. We have a free 3-day challenge coming up. If you want to get into the YouTube space, you're a creative entrepreneur, thought leader, hit the link in the description, sign up below, and make sure you watch one of the videos on the side. For more things, hit that subscribe button, that like button, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Peace.